Today, we're going to talk about something that's pretty startling when it happens: Bell's palsy. It comes out of nowhere, it's alarming, but there's a definite journey through it, from the initial shock all the way to recovery. So, picture this. You wake up, you go about your morning, you head to the bathroom mirror, and you see it. One side of your face is different. It's drooping, it feels heavy, and you can't quite make it move the way you want to. For anyone who gets Bell's palsy, this is that sudden, confusing, and honestly scary moment it all begins. And the thing is, this isn't something that creeps up on you slowly. The symptoms of Bell's palsy hit fast, and they usually hit their worst point within just 48 hours. It's that speed that makes it so jarring. So what are you actually feeling? Well, the corner of your mouth might sag, which suddenly makes eating or taking a sip of coffee a real challenge. You might realize you can't close one of your eyes all the way. The wrinkles on your forehead might just disappear on one side. On top of that, you could get this weird pain behind your ear, or even notice your sense of taste is off. It's completely disorienting. Okay, so what in the world is going on here? Let's dive into what's actually happening in your body, and then we're going to tackle the number one fear that pops into everyone's head when these symptoms show up. So, at its core, Bell's palsy is all about one thing: inflammation of the seventh cranial nerve. You can think of this nerve as the master controller for all the muscles in your face that let you smile, frown, and show expression. When that nerve gets swollen, it gets squeezed inside this tiny bony tunnel in your skull, and it just can't send signals properly. And that's what causes the paralysis on one side of your face. And look, let's just address the elephant in the room. When half of your face just stops working, it is almost impossible for your mind not to go straight to, am I having a stroke? That is a totally understandable fear, but thankfully, there is a really key sign that helps doctors tell the difference. And it all comes down to the forehead. Here's the deal. With Bell's palsy, the problem is with the nerve after it leaves the brain. It's a peripheral issue, so the entire side of the face gets knocked out. You can't wrinkle your brow. But with most strokes, the issue is in the brain, a central problem. And the forehead muscles often get a signal from both sides of the brain. So if you can still raise your eyebrows and wrinkle your forehead, that's a huge clue that it might not be Bell's palsy and could point towards a stroke. It's a critical distinction. So that begs the question, right? Why? Why does this one nerve just suddenly get so inflamed and angry? What's the trigger? Well, here's the frustrating part. For about 70% of all cases, the honest-to-goodness answer is, we don't know for sure. That's what the word idiopathic means. It's basically medical speak for we've ruled other things out, but we can't pinpoint the exact cause. While other things can cause facial palsy, like the shingles virus or Lyme disease, the vast majority of cases get this Bell's palsy label. But just because it's labeled idiopathic doesn't mean scientists are completely in the dark. There is a very strong leading theory about what's probably going on. The main suspect is a virus that's been lying dormant in your body, something like the herpes simplex virus. Yep, the same one that causes cold sores. The idea is that this virus gets reactivated and your immune system launches an attack that unfortunately causes the facial nerve to become collateral damage. We also see it happen more often in people with diabetes, during pregnancy, or right after a cold or the flu, all times when the immune system is under stress. So, if this is happening to you, what's next? Let's talk about the road to recovery, the treatment, the self-care, and what you can generally expect. First off, time is absolutely critical. You need to see a doctor right away, not just to make sure it isn't a stroke, but because the main treatment works best if you start it within 3 days. That treatment is usually a course of corticosteroids, like prednisone, which are powerful anti-inflammatories. A doctor might also give you an antiviral medication to go with it. And number 4, which is so important we have to talk more about it, is protecting your eye. I cannot overstate this. If you can't blink properly or close your eye all the way, your cornea is just left exposed to the world. It can't stay moist and it can't clear away dust. This can lead to it getting scratched or damaged, which can cause serious, even permanent vision problems. Taking care of your eye is not just a nice idea, it's absolutely essential. So what does that look like in practice? Well, it means using artificial tears, those lubricating eye drops, all day long. At night, you'll probably need a thicker ointment to protect it while you sleep. And if you go outside, wearing glasses or even an eye patch is a really good idea to shield it from wind and dirt. It sounds simple, but this routine is your best defense against any long-term issues. Okay, so you've gotten through the initial shock, you're on the treatment plan. Now what? The big question on everyone's mind is, am I going to get better? What's the outlook here? Well, the recovery process is usually pretty predictable. You know how the symptoms peak within the first couple of days? Well, after that, most people start to see some real improvement within about 2 weeks. And for the vast majority, a full or at least a very near full recovery happens within 3 to 6 months. And here it is. This is the single most important number to hang on to. For all the fear and disruption it causes, the prognosis is fantastic. About 85% of people with Bell's palsy recover completely. The odds are overwhelmingly in favor of a full recovery. So really, while the experience is incredibly frightening, it's a condition where the chances of getting back to normal are really, really high. It's a journey that starts with a huge shock, but for almost everyone, it ends right back where you started. And it kind of leaves you with a final fascinating thought. Our faces they're our billboards to the world. They're how we show joy, sadness, surprise, everything. So what happens if, for a little while, you lose that ability? What do you learn about who you are when the face you show the world can't show them what you're feeling inside?